Are recording.
Try to repeat all that.
Yeah, can you start over, Rob?
Are these pictures fake up here?
Yeah, they're pretend. Thank you, Benny. Okay, awesome. So there's a few questions that I want to ask you based on what you've shared so far. So thank you so much. So how did you guys tap into the kind of like celebrity business? Was that based on prior relationships that you have had?
Yeah, so in my other business, I represented athletes for like endorsement deals for cars and so forth. So a little bit of it was that. And then we also have a really good friend that is a business manager for actors and actresses.
Oh, nice.
And that's the one that gave us that first deal. And then we, knocked out of the park on that one. So whenever he has clients that he can have us work with them, he has them, has us work with them. So.
Yeah, so then how do you guys just basically then work that arena, right? Or did you guys ever, other than just your sphere and then based on all the relationships that you have, did you ever do like some of the traditional like door knocking, cold calling or anything, or just been based solely on?
Never No, we've never knocked on a door.
Yeah.
There might be a time that we do. We just, as soon as we started, we were busy, fortunately. It stayed that way. Really the only time, during the beginning of COVID, the first few months, we had 3 deals that were in escrow that we were working on for 2-3 months. That fell through. And then, I'm sure there was about 6 months where we didn't have any deals. So during that time, but no one was door knocking during COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was.
I mean, so I've been in advertising marketing and I do search engine optimization. And so I do have skill sets that also could give us advantage as far as getting leads and so forth and knowing, what's a good ad buy and not, because I've done that for 25 years. So, and then as far as our advertising, I always like to do a little bit cutting edge as far as like what the ad is about. It's not just the typical put the pictures on your listings and so forth. Because I think we did that once and by the time we got the magazine, like every one of our houses that was in the magazine was sold.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the premise of one of our last ads was that basically everything, we would put these pictures in this ad, but by the time you see them, they'll be sold.
Yeah. So what, you're talking about your advertising, then what all, in addition to like your magazine or, because you said you're more cutting edge. So are you doing mostly, web-based advertising, or do you do print, or what is that marketing plan look like for you guys?
Yeah, so it's a mixture between print, magazine ads, typical postcards, a lot of web. So search engine optimization is basically people are searching in certain cities or looking for a real estate agent. The key is to come up in the top 3 on Google. Being on the 4th, 5th page, nobody's getting to that point. So, obviously you want to be on the first page, but it's really key to be up on the top 3 searches. So that's one of the things that I work heavily on with my team. I still do search engine optimization for a lot of car dealerships and some tech companies and so forth. So I still do have a bit of that business that I do on the side from real estate, but all of those skill sets and so forth works with any business, but it helps us with real estate as far as capturing leads and so forth. We've tried stuff like Zillow and Realtor and they work decently, like we got some deals from it, but it's as people get into a media arena, like paid search, let's just say, I used to have clients that would spend $3,000-4,000 on a certain set of key terms. And then after 3-4 years, when everybody jumped in, that same budget would cost them $25,000 a month. So, paid search is it's so competitive that with that, Zillow and Realtor.com, I found that we were overspending on advertising because it was costing between both websites almost $20,000 a month. So you'd have to get, at least a good sized deal every month for it to work.
Right.
And that was a hard thing because most people would call up, especially being in Calabasas, and say, "Oh, we saw this listing," and it ends up being it's a mobile park manufactured home, and they don't realize that they think they could buy it in Calabasas for under $300,000, but they don't realize it's going to be $2,400 a month for the land besides that. So most of the calls were for that, and it was a bit frustrating. So, but it was worth a try. I think any kind of advertising when we get pitched, I kind of vet it out, and sometimes I have to try it to find out if it works, and then sometimes I just know like whether it's a good deal or not, just being in that business.
Right. So what percentage of your business comes from, do you think comes from your sphere, right? All the people that you know, and then comes from the online leads?
Yeah, I would say probably 80-20, 80 our sphere.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a pretty good network of people. People call me the mayor of Calabasas.
That's awesome. I love it. So you were talking about, I mean, your customer service, right? That you give exemplary service. So what do you think is, that sets you apart from what you guys do, that sets you apart from the rest, right? That, you guys obviously are at the top in that area. So what kind of sets you apart?
Yeah, so I think one of the things is getting a home ready for sale.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people will, we always want to check out the house first and see what's going on. And a lot of times, me and Nick, you're actually helping them declutter. Like we've had times where we're there 2 a.m. getting ready for a photo shoot because we've gone back and they said they decluttered it, and we still need a lot of work. We'll bring our housekeeper with us, and we'll just go over ourselves, and we're literally there like with them, drinking coffee till 2 a.m, getting the house ready. Like we're pretty much doing everything we can for our clients, and they know that, and then they'll tell their friends that we did that. And then a lot of times it's after we either buy their house or sell their house, we're doing work for them. As far, I tell people believe like the people that are bought the house on a close are literally waiting for their keys. And the client doesn't have computers, and he's like just starting their stuff at his garage. I actually injured myself last year pretty bad. I dropped like a marble tabletop on my head. Because I didn't think it was, I thought it was attached to this nightstand. He said, I got to throw it in the dumpster, so I threw it over my head, and it literally knocked me out cold on the other side.
Oh my goodness.
And he's like, why are you doing this? But it's like, I just feel like, they were in a pinch, and, I needed help out. So we're like, as far as service, it's kind of crazy. Like people are always making jokes like at the stuff, the crazy stuff that we're doing for our clients.
But you definitely go over and above.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And it sounds like it probably feels like you guys are a total family, right, during that transaction period, right? It's like, okay, we're just inserting ourselves. We're your, adopted family for a period of time.
Absolutely, yeah.
Awesome. So then what is it like working with your wife? Right? Yeah, well, she's not here yet.
It's real estate, so obviously you get a lot of freedom. I was with someone for almost 10 years and engaged, and we got to a point where it was, all right, we're either gonna break up and keep our business that we started for after college, or we're gonna go get jobs and stay together. We decided to keep our business and separate, and I met Nikki 6 months later. That was like 21 years ago, almost to the day.
That's awesome.
With real estate, you can get away with it. Like we were in an office for 10, 12 hours a day. It was like unhealthy, but with real estate, you have so much freedom, and it's great having someone where if you have a partner, sometimes they have different interests, different motivations. In the previous job, I would work till 2, 3 in the morning with our employees, and she just needed to get to the gym by 5 p.m. So it's like, but if you have someone that's equally motivated, like Nikki, we know, sometimes people will say, oh, don't you wish you can clone yourself? Or, I feel like I have that clone working with me somewhere else. Like if she's going somewhere and I can't be there, I'm somewhere else. I feel like I'm there because it's Nikki. So I think that is a big advantage being a couple in real estate, is that you're so close. We don't need to catch each other up. Like if I had a partner that, let's just say, lives somewhere else, we're constantly catching up with each other, and we know exactly what's going on with the deal because we do spend that extra time together. So I think it is, we know that, we have each other's backs equally, and that's a big advantage.
Yeah, that's awesome. I know I've had conversations with, both of you, right? That, you guys really pretty much know your roles and your strong suits. So you work off your strengths and weaknesses or what have you. So you're the guy that goes in So is she the warm and fuzzy, and then you're the guy, like if it's negotiating, like,
Yes,
hey.
yeah, like she's always handing me the phone, like if there's a little bit of drama or there's gonna be some tension on the call,
Mhm.
she's always like handing the torch. And I know that's kind of, we each have
Yeah,
our thing. So yeah, I'm always taking the tough calls. And she's just great at showing a house, open houses,
Mhm.
staying in touch with our clients that necessarily we didn't know before our transaction. I think we both do that too,
Mhm.
really well. We always stay in contact. We take them out for lunch. We really build relationships and we become friends. And it's not really just because, oh, you're spending money with us. We really truly become friends with our clients that we just made.
Yeah, it makes it fun. I mean, real estate and it really is a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Right, so, so in your first year of real estate, because I know, there's different, I mean, you guys did amazing your first year. So would there be something that you did that you wouldn't do again? I mean, kind of what were the lessons that you learned, that you could share with everybody, like, hey, you know what, we did this and it failed epically, or we did this and it was a huge success.
Right.
Because everybody learns, instead of reinventing the wheel, we like to learn from others, especially as successful as you guys are.
Yeah, I think I was lucky. At the time, I owned a private cigar lounge, and one of our members owned a small real estate company called Dwell in Woodland Hills. And it was small enough where I think in the first 3 months we were the #1 team there, and they had like 32 agents. It was small. But what's great is I got hands-on training basically from the two owners. And they kind of saw who our clients were and they gave us extra time. And it was really like, I've never taken any really courses or anything. It was just that being in it and working the deal that I have with them and showing me really was a big advantage. And I think it was 9 months, we got recruited by Compass and went to Compass. And there was some mistakes there as far as like kind of just drinking the Kool-Aid, and going all in with Compass and equity program, and just certain things that I would do differently there. But really the first year, there wasn't really many mistakes. We just started right off and we got really busy, and we just learned through just working deals as we were getting them. Yeah.
That's awesome. So you did 20 million,
First 9 months, when we went to Compass from when we started at 12, we did over 20 million first 9 months.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, and they had, I think at the time they were saying you needed to do 2 years of 30 million in sales together. But we didn't do that. But she said after 9 months doing 20 million, obviously the potential is way more than the minimum. So
yeah. So here we are rounding, we're end of 2021, right? Which is absolutely nuts. What are your goals, aspirations, and what tweaks are you doing for your business for 2022, if any?
Yeah, I think what we're concentrating on is really doing more like detailed farming in certain areas that we've been successful in. For some reason or another, since the beginning of COVID, we did one deal in Thousand Oaks, and then it led, I think we've done like in the last year, like 8 deals just in Thousand Oaks alone, which, in the beginning, I knew the area, I'm from the Valley, but I didn't know like I know it now. So there's certain pockets in Thousand Oaks that I see, and a lot of people saw multiple houses that we had and ones that we did design. So we already have, people calling us about, hey, we're going to list our house. We want to have you maybe do the design before we sell it, that sort of thing. So there's certain areas like Los Feliz, Thousand Oaks, areas that I didn't really think that I would be working heavily in, that we've done a lot. I would say Thousand Oaks and Los Feliz, those two areas, we've done the most sales in anywhere. So even though we're based in Calabasas, we live in Calabasas, we work there. I don't believe in just like farming just because we live and work here. There's just certain pockets, like even Mount Washington, we've done numerous deals there in Silver Lake. And, so I think getting a little bit more detailed into doing more farming in different areas. Yeah, as far as going forward for next year.
So then you just kind of let your business kind of like, okay, this is where we like this area, well, let's expand on it.
Yeah.
So when you, hey, Nikki, you guys want to meet Nikki? Woo! Morning, beautiful. So here's Nikki. Hi. Hello. So Robb's been just kind of sharing the journey a little bit. And so I asked him the question about what it's like working as a couple, right?
And this is what it's like, because we have to split up and do life and do business, but it actually is a benefit as well, because as you know, as agents, you are never on, you're always on, you're never off. And having a partner is it's a huge asset, as well as it could be a good asset if it's your partner in life. But for us, it works well because we know what we both bring to the table and we complement each other with everything we do.
Yeah.
So
I just got done saying you brought nothing to the table.
thank you.
I just like, she's not here yet. So
You didn't
there's
record
that.
this, right?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even in there. I better bring you things to the table. So I'm sorry I'm late, but I'm so happy that everyone took the time to meet and be in this meeting with us. But where did you guys leave off? What is he saying horrible things about me?
Never.
Or no?
No, we said how, that you guys understand each other, right? And the strengths and weaknesses, and we talked about, like where we've even spoken, okay, he's gonna take this call, when it gets confrontational, or if there has to be, hardcore negotiating, that you guys really understand your roles, if you will.
Yeah, it's as you get older, you hopefully know yourself even better, but are more humble, just because maybe you're not as good as someone else that you're working with in a team. It's okay. I take the time to learn every day from him, because there's things that he's just born with, and it's just, secondhand. I'm the softer approach for our transactions. I have my degree in psychology, so I use it every single day, if you can imagine. But I know when I need to step up a little bit and be a little stronger, and I'm usually the surprise of the transaction when that happens, because it's good to have like the equal balance, because he's like the shark and he's gonna make sure the deal's happening. I'm gonna make sure the deal's happening, but I'm gonna make sure your sanity's there. And I'm gonna make sure you're okay, because there's always different, you'll know your client, and I always know someone who doesn't need my type of approach. So I'm just like to the books, to the dollar, what you need to know. And then there's some that like need to be taken for coffee, or just need to be explained a little bit, holding hands with the process, which we both can do. I sometimes have a little more patience because it's just my nature. That's what we do. But my goal the past year is really stepping in and being as many transactions together, so it's not all on him on certain things that I don't understand. And I think that's a great thing too. You always are learning, no matter how long you've been doing this. So, and everyone's approach is different, and you can alter it to the way that you feel comfortable. Or sometimes I'm like, you know what, he does have a point and I need to do it this way. So anyways, it's kind of just like, I don't know how my goal was really in my life to be more in psychology. And then I kind of diverted and started working for hospitality and opening up restaurants. And I had to travel all over the world. So I got to work with development and like got to see real estate all over. And then we started doing flips. So my goal of what my career path was going to be completely changed. But ultimately, I don't know if anyone's ever taken like a personality test or any one of those things where you kind of feel what like careers adapt best for you. This one was one of them, just by chance. And I knew it because I like to engage with people. I like to, these are huge steps and things that happen in people's lives. So you're a true impact and you want it to be a positive. And real estate is something that we loved, and we realized that as we were growing into our own relationship. So now we're here. And every day as going through COVID and everything for the past couple of years is really made me appreciate being in something you're passionate about. Yes, it's like a roller coaster. Hope we're on the high right now, but it's just something that no matter what you go into every day and you're excited to be doing and happy to feel like your effects on other people. And it's kind of a way of giving back in a certain way to other people and to the community. But you know, I love working and developing my skills as well as helping others. So it's something that I love to do, and I'm glad and very fortunate to be doing it with my partner.
That's wonderful. Thank you. I know it's already 8:31. So I want to ask you guys a question. So for both of you to share, what has been your biggest like aha, like, hey, you know, I want for you in this business that you think maybe could be a good golden nugget for everybody on the call?
As in something that we learned that we didn't realize.
Yeah.
You want to say something?
Or words of advice for.
I mean, I think the most important thing is relationships, and whether you have known that person or you just meet them, to build a relationship with them. Because usually, you know, people are obviously not just buying one house or they're going to refer you. They're not going to refer you if they just felt like you were just doing your job.
Mhm.
So if you're going over and beyond, you know, a lot of my clients all me, let's just say we become golfing buddies and we're golfing all the time and doing stuff like that. And just building relationships. I think almost any business you're in is like that, but I think real estate, it's magnified. And it's all about relationships and all the people that you're working for and their perception of you and so forth.
One of my aha moments is like every transaction, it might seem like it's almost the same and you're like just repeating the course of someone else, but they're so different and people are different. And just because the guidelines are the guidelines, you have to have some like flexibility with how you kind of project what they are to certain clients, because certain clients expect a lot, especially when you get into more of the higher profile and bigger properties where people just, you know, expect a little bit more and think everything they request is something that can be done. You can't just constantly like this is the book, this is how it is, whatever. Yes, you want to do that, but ultimately you have to know your clients and know how to make them feel like they're buying into something that is the way it has to be anyway. So just the aha of like some of the requests that you get, some of the type of people you work with, and the patience of sometimes the littlest things where you're like, why am I having to do this? It's so much work. Some of those things have paid back tenfold. So I've done a lot of leases in the past few years where it's like a lot of work, but ultimately they have come back and have been multiple transactions later or a referral later. So you can be as busy as you're going to be, but there's going to be all these different requests in different times. Think about before you just say, I don't have time for that, to just put yourself out there. The more you put in, the more you're going to get out of it. And I've worked with so many different types of people and the highest level owners and CEOs of companies. And I have to ultimately say the ones that are still totally hands-on and team workers are the ones that their companies are still strong out of all this in the economy. So no matter how big you get, being personal and having that one-on-one, people want to be with you. They picked you as their agent. And when you get so big and you're so busy and you're starting to like delegate it to this, you do what you can, but you always need to be attentive to those people so that you continue to be the first one they think of. So I think that's really important, like no matter how busy, but you also have to have a quality of life too. And that's kind of where at one point, thank God I have my partner, because I'm here, I had to take care of stuff with family right now. But you know, you have to balance it, and sometimes it's really hard. But if you want to be, the more you put into it, the more you're gonna see the success in your business. So
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yay! All right, well, that's all we have. That's our time.
Okay.
But it was amazing. Thank you so much. Let me look, let's see what comments, because we gotta get, I know you guys are scheduled. Oh, it says it's Robb Friedman. If you're on this call, you most likely got the email, so read more about him and Nikki. All right, thank you all so much for being here, and thank you too for taking time out of your crazy busy day with work and family and the whole bit, and we appreciate you immensely and just grateful and honored for you to be part of our family too.
Thank you.
All right. All right, thank you. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you, Robb and Nikki. Incredible.
Thank you.